allow the two children to attend the budget every year.
It's okay. Off your mind. It's okay.
She
Off your mind.
like me.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go sama us, call am hate speech. But fear not, my ego don't come. Him go torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, oh, yo yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo yo. My ego diary politico, oh, yo yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo yo. This one not the off in mind, oh, yo yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo yo. Can in the touchlight every corner, oh, yo yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Nah. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Sure. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over Naira. Still them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say my ego don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh, yo yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh, yo yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo yo. My ego diary politico, oh, yo yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo yo. This one not they off in mind, oh, yo yo. My ego don't come, oh, yo yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that my yegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say my yegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say my yegun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh yo yo. My yegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make you shout, oh yo yo. My yegun don't come, oh yo yo. My yegun don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun diary Naira number one. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun diary Naira number one. Mayegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú. Mayegun diary Naira number one. Lórí Facebook lórí YouTube. Mayegun diary Naira number one. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí. Mayegun diary Naira number one. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun diary Naira number one. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Mayegun máa wí. Mayegun diary Naira number one. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun diary Naira number one. Mayegun diary politico. Mayegun diary Naira number one. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun. Mayegun diary Naira number one. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Mayegun diary Naira number one. Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun diary Naira number one. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. But bàbá gbé wúrẹ́.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀ sọ́ra jù.
Máyégún ti dé.
Ijó ìgbádìyẹ.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀ sọ́ra jù.
Máyégún ti dé.
Bí pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o.
Máyégún máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀ sọ́ra jù.
Máyégún ti dé. Hello there, brethren. Good morning to you. Good afternoon to you. And good evening to you from wherever you are joining us. It is Máyégún Live. Thank you so much for joining me. So, you know the routine, the ritual, right? After reading the caption of the broadcast, you take your time, read the description of the broadcast as well. Then you like it as your own offering. Then you share it to invite your friends and not so friendly friends to tell them that they can join us because Máyégún is live. It should be an interesting evening as well. As we are going to visit Tumbu in his own alternative world that he has created, mostly very far from the reality of millions of you. So tonight, we are going to start with that. And then we will also still pretty much stay within their bubble in their own asshole rock, where Daani Bwala came out in his effort to try to want to defend the indefensible, right? Of Tumbu's action, which is now spreading like wildfire in northern part of Nigeria. Daani Bwala came back to say, Lagos is no man's land, something he can't really take back when he's trying to paint the picture of why Lagos State alone gets over 5 trillion Naira project of Tumbu, when other regions were, anyway. So we're starting with that. It all started from yesterday when Koolu hosted the he hosted the CPC faction loyal, or that claimed to be loyal to the late Bokohari, and they were led by Al-Makura, the former Nasarawa governor, I think, Al-Makura, as well as Masaku, the Bello Masaku, that one that was also the former governor of Bokohari's state. So they took themselves to go and see Tumbu in the growing sort of like opposition to Tumbu in northern Nigeria. Their job was to go and remind him that, listen, if you see all these people who are saying that they want to kick you out, they want to kick you out, don't worry. We, the leaders of Bokohari's voters, we just want to let you know that we are solidly behind you because of the merger that brought APC to power. It may be a little bit boring though, right? So maybe we should start with the boring parts. Then we'll go to the other interesting part afterward. So let's go inside your asshole rock. Yesterday, when Al-Makura and others were received by Koolu, the first is Koolu receiving them, talking about Bokohari, then Al-Makura coming to read their prepared praises of Tumbu and assurances, I think. Then to the part where Koolu said, he has stabilized Nigeria economy. That at first, people didn't believe in him. They were afraid. People were abusing them. But today, Nigeria economy is so stable. Tumbu said he met he met a dollar at 1,900 Naira to $1. And because of his reform, he has been able to reduce that to 1,600 Naira. The economy is getting better. And he doesn't, he's not worried or afraid of Donald Trump's tariff and all that. He said that's the part we're going to get to after the following, right? The arrival and Koolu.
Your Excellency Bokohari, Tumbu, President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the Honorable Speaker of the House of Representatives, Right Honorable Daani Bwala, Secretary to the Government of the Federation. With us this afternoon, Your Excellency, we also have members of the Federal Executive Council. We have former ministers. We have members of the Congress for Progressive Change and the Bokohari organization. Presidential aides, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. My name is
Senator Nasir Sonny Sangodara, former Governor Right Honorable Aminu Bello Masari, Dr. Umar Mutalab. I've listened to you. It's a joy. I'm in the family meeting. That's the way I feel it. And yes, the time we lost our brother, give me credit. It's a loss to all of us. But that is the will of God Almighty. But he has left a good will. He didn't hand over a country defeated, a country in ruin, a political structure battered, and a legacy of success. That is the most important thing. We just have to continue to.
Nuisance, Lele.
They are calling him imbecile. Can you believe that? Like they're actually calling Tumbu imbecile in northern part of Nigeria. Like a very sick, like that. They are doing that on social media for Koolu. I've seen it. Sorry, give me a sec. They are saying that when the time comes, they are going to send your demented Koolu back. But could you make any sense of what he's saying there? Yeah, that's why I said the boring part first, okay? But listen, to the professional praise singers, do their job right now, right? And that's Al-Makura, his name, representing Bokohari's organization. So the Bokohari Media Organization, the BMO. Remember them? Right. So their job is to go and reassure Tumbu that no matter what anyone is saying about him in the north, no matter the kind of meeting they are calling or any conspiracy they are conspiring, that they can assure him that Bokohari may be dead, but they are his loyalists and they will remain loyal to him. Listen to that part. It's a bit of a watch, right? Al-Makura. Oh, hang on. I think my system is kind of like acting out now.
President, the people you are seeing here are people that I call the founding members of the former or defunct CPC. Right from 2010 up to when the merger was formed, And throughout this period, their trajectory, the signature of their trajectory had been nothing but commitment, loyalty, and camaraderie to ensure the success of APC in Nigeria. Mr. President, before I read my short speech, I would like to crave your indulgence. Given the caliber of people that are here and the kind of struggle they have had to commit themselves to in the past 10 years, a lot of them you know, one after the other, by their names. I will crave your indulgence, if time will allow, to give just 1 minute or less than 1 minute for each one to introduce himself. I appreciate that, sir. With permission of Mr. President, can we start from the, table there? I want to see how long they have come in the support of this great party. Some of them were founding members, some of them were members of the National Assembly, some of them were contestants and candidates for gubernatorial elections in 2011, and so on and so forth. I thank you, Mr. President, for granting this opportunity for them to say who they are. Mr. President, I would like to read my short speech. Mr. President, permit me on behalf of the political family of our late leader and mentor, President Muhammadu Buhari, to express our profound gratitude, deep respect, and appreciation to you and the government and people of Nigeria over your kind gesture in honoring his passage. When our leader passed on, the nation grieved and mourned. At that moment of disillusionment, you became the symbol of consolation as you presided over the entire procedure for his passage. You did not only bury Muhammadu Buhari, but you honored him and ensured a befitting state burial with full military honors. Above all, your presence throughout the ceremony was comforting, as it was reassuring. You did not only pray for him, but wish him Allah's rahmah in Jannatul Firdaus. Mr. President, your gesture was a powerful statement of dignity, loyalty, and legacy. For that, Mr. President, we thank you from the depth of our hearts, just like his biological family expressed when they visited you shortly after his burial. We thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, you and President Muhammadu Buhari shared more than a political alliance. You shared a vision of a Nigeria grounded in discipline, justice, economic sovereignty, and responsible governance. You were united by purpose and vision, not benefit. By a united Nigeria, not a political assembly.
àmọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ tẹ́ gbé kalẹ̀ yìí
ó dàbí ọ̀rọ̀ ẹni tí ọpọlọ rẹ̀ yòrò tàbí ẹni tí Ọlọ́run fi síbi aláṣà àwọn ọpọlọ rẹ̀ bí ọpọlọ ikú. Ó jọ ọmọ bẹ́ẹ̀ tọpọlọ rẹ̀ ò tó nǹkan rárá tàbí ètò wà ń bẹ kó má tiẹ̀ wúlò mọ́ rárá. Àmọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ tẹ́ gbé kalẹ̀ yìí ó dàbí ọ̀rọ̀ ẹni tí ọpọlọ rẹ̀ yòrò tàbí ẹni tí Ọlọ́run fi síbi aláṣà àwọn ọpọlọ rẹ̀ bí ọpọlọ ikú. Ó jọ ọmọ bẹ́ẹ̀ tọpọlọ rẹ̀ ò tó nǹkan rárá tàbí ètò wà ń bẹ kó má tiẹ̀ wúlò mọ́ rárá.
Apologies. My system froze, so I had to quickly refresh and come back. Yeah, grown men praising their fellow man, lying to his face. And I believe that is the world they live in. The men they get around, they just have to speak so glowingly of the person who is like in charge. Thank him for giving them the air that they are breathing. Because of him, oh my God, you actually did the burial. That's a statement. We are so grateful from the depth of our heart. In fact, we just want you to know that we are with you. So I had to stop it because it's a long video. All right. So we are with you. We are your reform. Everything you are doing it to bring justice, discipline, unity. There are so many of them who spoke, right? But let's skip all of that. We won't skip that of a Koolu because you need to listen to it to the end. It's rubbish, like all jargons. But what I want you to please look out for is the conviction at which Koolu is saying everything he said. That if you are watching from Nigeria, you are likely going to, if you are not a Ronuku, you are likely going to get a little bit triggered. Because you'll be asking yourself, what is he talking about? For example, Tumbu told those, the gathering that when he first came in, right, that he met a country that was almost like gone. However, even though he praised Bokohari in that same breath, but he reminded them. Tumbu said when he came in, right, $1 in Nigeria was 1,900 Naira. But guess what? His work, he has done, his reform is paying off now. That Nigeria Naira to the dollar is now 1,500, 1,600. And this is one thing about the APC, that I think I have possibly like, shared my views on in the past. When APC came to power in 2015, $1 at the time was 145 Naira official. And their black market, of course, of the bank was 200 Naira, 199, 200 Naira to $1. And a pound at the time was 240, 250 Naira to a pound. This was in 2015, right? So fast forward to 2019, then $1 had already crossed 300, 400 in the official market, while the black market, of course, is about an extra, a couple of Naira more. Now, fast forward it again to 2023, when Bokohari was going. $1 officially at the time was 420 Naira to $1. And of course, the black market gap was so massive at 700, 750 Naira to $1. Well, you know something? When the dollar got to like 400 and something, right? And everybody was like, oh my God, yeah, the inflation is going to be insane because the food inflation also went up. The normal inflation went up. Cost of living crisis hit them, right? Because of that. So in the process, right, the dollar now came down from, let's say, 400 Naira down to 350 Naira. And guess what? APC, they went to town. I don't know many of you can remember this. They went into town and said, hey, they are not talking now. The economy is getting better. The dollar is crashing. It's crashing. Remember, under Bokohari. But what you didn't know then was that even Bokohari and his gang, Emefiole, they were doing what they called defending the Naira, doing the round tripping. It was a scam fraud all along. It was just a matter of time. Then Koolu came in. He needed money. He needed loans. And the best way you could get any loan at the time was, one, defend the Naira, two, devalue the Naira. And they did both. What if Tumbu did after? It didn't just remove subsidy. What if Tumbu did after announcing subsidy removal, which they didn't announce, was to devalue Nigeria Naira. And with that singular action, Nigeria Naira lost like about 1,000% of its value. It was drastic. Nigeria Naira got to as much as 1,970 Naira. A pound actually got to nearly 2,400 Naira to a pound. Then they went to the Afrexim Bank, took a loan of $3.3 billion. They got the first tranche, sometimes in November, right? 2023. No, they applied November. They got it sometimes February 2024. The first tranche in defending Naira. So far, so good. Tumbu and his gang have spent over $5 billion defending the Naira. But they are keeping all this data, rolling out other fake data that are in no way matching the reality. So they are telling people that they will feel it later. They will feel it later while they continued their austerity measure and at the same time, luxurious lifestyle. So Koolu told his audience that his reform is now working because he no longer borrow from the local markets, while the Nigerians alone under this Koolu has been doubled, by the way. But they continue to hide most of the real data from the people, from the public. They have done so well with that. But like Bokohari and gang, one thing about data is that it is very stubborn. You can pretend, you can fake it, you can hide it. But by the time it catches up with you, you will have an implosion on your hands. So to him, he said, Nigeria is doing better now. Economy is stable. And he's not even afraid of Donald Trump or this Trump tariff and all that. Somebody said that they hope that Trump won't see this. Because, so listen to Koolu. It is also a bit of a long watch. I want us to watch it totally. React to it if you can. There is more.
Thank you very much. Now, you brought back the memory of the beginning of the alliance. When we sat down, hashing out which way we disagree to agree. To all of you, I just say thank you. It's a sweet memory. For you to pull yourself together to be here and just follow up on things we've been doing. Don't worry about the threats. When I see people like you, my determination is to work harder. Yes, stick together for what we believe a progressive government that we always build on the legacies of Muhammadu Buhari. And what I can promise you is what I'm doing. Hard work, hard thinking, consulting of you. First of all, cure the economy, bring hope to the people. That is what we stood for. And that is hope is here. Is here. Thank you for believing in me. The economy is stabilized. Nobody is trading piece of paper for exchange rate anymore. When I took over, 1.9, it's 1.35, 1.45 now. It's been stabilizing there. People can predict. You don't have to know a Cardozo before you get your foreign exchange, you get your imports. What we need now is building the ship, the vessels, for export and import of our goods and create jobs for the people. There's a guarantee there. I know many of you had to suffer the initial abuse and the fear. Where are we going? We know the direction that we should go. We are going up. No, those who may not know will not know. Today I'm standing before you, I can brag that Nigeria is not borrowing, it's dying from local bank. The revenue, we have met our target of revenue for the whole year. We met it in August. I've reviewed this morning. Non-oil. If non-oil revenue is going well, then we have no fear of whatever Trump is doing on the other side. And I've just signed off on a huge mechanization, program that every region we have a mechanized center for agricultural mechanization and have trainees and all of that. That is our path to food sovereignty, food security. You remove hunger from poverty, you have defeated poverty. All I can promise you is where we started and where we're going. And your children's education, the path to Nigerian recovery, we are on it. Go home, be assured. Don't let anybody threaten you or for any uncertainty. We are certain we are going to succeed. That's what we believe in. The honesty in Buhari, what we inherited from him, is total commitment to justice, transparency, and success. That's all. you have anything less than that, you will have joy at the end of this journey. And we will jointly put dime, nickel, kobo, toro together. We will build a Buhari house. That house will be a house of joy and prosperity. I thank you very, very much. Thank you.
And we are competing with armed robbers and the bandits to recruit from the youths who are unemployed. 33% unemployed. Recruit 50 million youths into the army and take away from their recruitment source. What they will eat? Cassava, agbado, corn in the morning, yam in the afternoon. It's growing here. You create demand and consumption. For over 5 million army of boot camps, we create our food. That's money for the farmers. That's consumption for the soldiers and skill development. Don't call them by illiterate. Don't talk about illiteracy. Anybody who can own gun, who can handle gun, who can cock gun and clean the chamber and cock and shoot is technically competent to repair a tractor in the farm.
Nuisance lele. Nuisance lele.
The nuisance in charge of that contraption. How many of you have noticed, right, that Tumbu is so incoherent? However, there is a part of his brain, okay, that is keeping some fancy words that could drop into his speech in order to sound like he's making sense. But if you try to listen, you begin to like have an headache. But there is a name for that, right? There's a name for that. It is called dementia, probably at the early stage. I don't know. And if you, let me give you an example. When Koolu is saying his jargons, for example, right? He said, when I came in, I met the economy, right, in this particular state. The dollar was 1.9, people were abusing you and the rest. Today, the dollar is 1.35, 1.45. I want you to know that Bokohari's legacy, he left a legacy of prosperity, compassion, prosperity, and success. And I want you to know that, I don't know, I'm trying to kind of imitate him, but it's so hard. You can't really quote him. He lives in his own world. And if you don't believe in it, it's simply because you don't like him. Because the Ronukus, they will clap and say, yeah, we understand what he's saying. Prosperity, hope is here. It's standing before you here. And we have to create prosperity, progress, and, jargons. I managed to kind of put them together enough that everybody just sit down there and clap. And others will begin to, like what you had during the time of a Bokohari. So you get to have interpreters, person will speak English. Supposedly, we need an interpreter to explain to people who are finding it difficult to understand what he just said. Now, in that same gathering, by the way, because he had like two group of people who came to see him, including Shomu Bumosho. He said something about Trump clearly here, just briefly.
Now that the world trade is being battered by various tariff restrictions and alterations, we work on being a very good alternative market and a partner. This is a country of over 250 million people, and it's still growing at almost, 3% per annum. And it's a good market for you. Politically, we are related. Language that is a barrier has interpretation between us. It shouldn't delay us from moving forward.
That was with the Colombia vice president. Now, rather, the governor of Katsina, who was also there. And you can call him, that's his name, or just to call it twice. I think his name is Rada. And then you can call it twice, the Rada of Katsina. The guy that had an accident, his convoy had an accident, in his state. And this Rada governor took himself abroad for proper medical care. And those who were involved in the, in the crash with him, who were initially, taken to their general hospital, claimed that they were abandoned, and the governor took himself abroad for treatment. So he came back few weeks after, and they started arresting those who posted on social media that their governor abandoned them, and he took himself abroad. He was part of the delegation that went to see Koolu yesterday after the meeting. And it was also from the state that the Fulani terrorists, yes, you heard me right, Fulani terrorists attacked the mosque and killed worshippers. Inside the mosque. In Katsina, 55 people were reportedly killed by the terrorists while their governor was away. Again, it was at the meeting. And this is own takeaway from the meeting. You want to hear?
Yeah, as you are.
Oh, I think that's it.
As you are all aware, we have had recent incidences in Katsina in the last few days, and we felt that it is necessary for us to come and see Mr. President and share our sorrow with him and inform him of our challenges. And we decided to come along with our elders, very important and prominent people from all walks of life of the state, to share those information with Mr. President, and also to seek for his support and to seek for his assistance, so that we can live in peace and be able to move about doing our own activities in the state, as well as also to thank Mr. President for award of some contracts for the rehabilitation and of some roads which are major in the state, and also to seek for Mr. President intervention in supporting those projects with funds, so that people can benefit from those projects. And we are all aware that we had also an abandoned project with our airport, which we also plead with Mr. President to intervene so that we can have those projects completed. So in a short note, these are the issues there, and Mr. President has responded well, and he has noted all our concerns, and he has promised to promptly address the issues.
On security, sir,
on the security, Mr. President has committed himself that there is going to be increase in the number of troops that will be deployed in the state and assets for the military, and also he has promised intervention with air power, so that, and he also said he will intervene, because the last time the Chief of Army Staff visited Katsina, he promised to establish a battalion in the southern part of the state, and also there was a promise by the IG to to establish cadre of mobile policemen in the southern part of the state. And the president said he's going to intervene to make sure that it quickly take effect.
Thank you, Your Excellency.
This is the consequence of the vote you voted. And it's too early to cry now because actually the real problem hasn't come. This is the consequence of the vote you voted. And it's too early to cry now because actually the real problem hasn't come.
Not yet. So that's the Rada governor of Katsina. And according to him, he told the media, and they blasted it everywhere. They said, Tumbu has given an immediate marching order to the military that they must go and provide security for them in Katsina. He doesn't want to hear anything about Fulani terrorists and all of that. But guess what? In Katsina, this is how the Fulanis and the locals relate in Nigeria.
Muna da ɗaya daga cikin mutanen da muka samu zaman lafiya a cikin ƙaramar hukumar Yankara. Ƙaramar hukumar
They are superstars. People were there taking their pictures. They were there posting with the locals and all that. Even though the locals are also complaining that because they have been very nice to these terrorists. The terrorists, whenever they come into town, they just go into the shops and pick whatever they want. Milk, food, name it. Anything they want, once they see them in the shops, they pick them, they don't pay. And the locals don't have to complain. But if they complain, right, then they will have to choose between getting wiped out and ending in the refugee camps, or just let them take whatever they want whenever they come into town. That is Bokohari's state, Katsina, in northern part of Nigeria. No wonder Datti BabaAhmed, Peter Obi's running mate in 2023, was in their studio, was in Channel's studio last night too, discussing the political development in the space, the state of the country, the characters who are the active players in all of this, including the El-Rufai, Kaduna Little Fingers. So according to Datti BabaAhmed, he said APC, because of power, ended up bringing terrorists into Nigeria to gain power. After gaining power, they get overwhelmed. And right now, they've lost control of it. So as long as Nigeria remains in chaos, APCs can always win election, declare themselves, right? He also said that the role played by El-Rufai, who traveled to as far as North Africa during the, it was around the time that the Gaddafi, this and that collapsed, and those rebels that they gave weapons to and all of that, they ended up in Nigeria. That Isha said a lot too, and I think you should watch, right? Please.
Believe me, Nigeria is a great country, should be a great country, and we have people destroying us by the hour. Insecurity has been part of APC's game, and Nasiru is saying it, and I think he's right. The government has been paying them.
Well, you don't
Last
have
year,
facts.
this time,
You
I
don't
have
facts.
facts.
No, the government has said no, they are not paying them.
They are paying them because the reaction of ONSA is not disputing what Nasiru has said.
You are inferring
This time
that
last, wait,
you are
listen.
inferring that the NSA should arrest Nasiru
No,
El-Rufai
I'm not
or
interested.
collect his statement. But if that happens, there are those in opposition that will say they are going after opposition voices.
There are more ways to counter such a position. I told you about 2015. There, you see, going after a former Nigerian president, trying to kill him. What does that tell you? Something. Before that, what had happened? After Jonathan won in the Supreme Court, they called for dialogue, and those young men nominated a former Nigerian president who took 3 days to repudiate. After those 3 days, go and plot the graph. You will see that between 2012 to 2014, the spikes of attacks around those villages in the northeast skyrocketed because hunger, lack of medicine. Why? Because somebody had stopped sending the recurrent expenses of those people who used to come all the way to Kaduna, collect and then go back, and that's how the cycle went. In protest as to why did you call that name, they couldn't bear it anymore and felt by 2014 the best thing was to go and attempt. It failed. We're lucky. They got Jonathan scared. He thought that, oh, if they kill this man, Nigeria will burn. They provided him with additional cars, more money, and it was all about money. It was all about collecting money. The truth is that somebody had gone to North Africa, negotiated with Gaddafi. Gaddafi, who is was an international terrorist, all over the world, from the far west to the far east, said, I will help you, like I've been doing. I heard there are some young men. There are plans to kill Gaddafi, not in a palace coup, but through uprising. If it fails and you become president, I will retire to your country if you become president. If it doesn't fail, right now, he wanted to create a buffer. So he sent Saif al-Islam, go on YouTube and find out, to Niger with money, cash, millions of dollars in his boot, to recruit Tuaregs to go and fight in Libya. Sent his former general to Mali, why you still have insecurity in Mali. In Nigeria, they gave crazy amount of money to that gentleman. Go and help these people with the intention of bringing them to fight in Libya. When Gaddafi died, they sat on the money. They kept on with the recurrent until after mentioning the name, and then they stopped sending the money. They became, now all these things are linked. They wanted Nigeria to burn if Buhari did not become president in 2015. I contested alongside Buhari for Senate. I contested for Senate in 2011. You have it on YouTube. He said, blood, soaked in blood, the baboon and the... Ever since he made that comment, I refused to go and campaign with Buhari. Refused completely. It didn't matter if I lost the Senate seat. I won it eventually. Insecure for a former president to say, you soak in blood. And then there was, Kaduna is my state. There was serious violence in Kaduna. Many houses were burnt. Emir's houses in Ongwansarki, Demna Abba had their houses burnt and all that, simply because of a statement. They went and brought in people from those neighboring places in readiness to remove Jonathan by all means. So the desperation of people to get Jonathan out of power has built up and added to what we call insecurity in Nigeria today.
So you, in fact,
this is a fact. But my grudge with Nasiru's statements is that he was part and parcel of APC from 2013. Like he told you, he was one of the architects of it all. all of a sudden to come and absolve himself and call others. No. Nasiru is part and parcel of all that has been going on. We suffered, we are victims of Nasiru's misrule in Zaria. Go back December 2015, when a war was supposed to have been won in the Northeast. What business, what military and strategic business did an army chief have to come to Zaria for a convocation, not of NDA, graduation of recruits, privates, choosing to follow the route where the Shiites were holding? All these things were orchestrated. They knew the exact hour, the exact minute that he was coming to pass, because they had the technology. And 800 people were killed because they wanted to raise down the temple that was built. These things were carefully doctored and orchestrated.
These are heavy allegations that you are making, and which one
And
will imagine? One will imagine someone of your status in the society.
Yeah.
Why are you just saying this? Why are you saying this? Does it amount to a political gimmick, or what exactly are you up to with this?
Sharon, I've been saying it. I said it in your own program. I mentioned the link about North Africa. In your own program, go back and check. Play the archives and see. Wherever I spoke, I linked electoral fraud with insecurity, corruption and insecurity. I have always done this.
I'm worried, actually.
Believe me.
It's going to sound like conspiracy theory, right? No. Now, here is the difference, okay? For somebody like myself, and what I think I know, which is in the public, I could easily put together something that you can understand that is not so all lodged together like he did. Because if you want to make an expose, an exposition that you think everyone should, please show interest in, then you can't do that unambiguously. Do you get it now? So you must be very clear and straight. You must be clear and straight, like Nidu. Yeah, Nidu straight. Yeah. So here is the thing. The history of APC is that of history of violence. In fact, the people who formed the APC at the time, they had one enemy in common, and that was Goodluck Jonathan. And why? One, Bokohari has been contesting to be president of that contraption since 2003. He contested 2003, 2007 against Yaradua. Now, in 2011, when it was projected in the north that Bokohari possessed a sort of like a cult following, where is more or less like the most influential politician in northern Nigeria. And that was something that they eventually built to this godlike image for him, that those who were following him didn't believe that anybody could defeat him in an election. So in 2011, Goodluck Jonathan defeated him, and that led to a serious riot by his supporters in northern Nigeria. People were slaughtered in states like Bauchi, Jigawa, Kano, and few others. And I'm talking about mass killings. Because of that 2011 defeat of Bokohari, more than 400 people were slaughtered, including 7 NYSC coppers. So then Bokohari cried and said, it's no longer doing election again. It's done. Now, a year after 2011, which is like 2012, right? Something hit the country. That was the, what you call the subsidy removal protest, if you remember. So they built on that. Then something happened in between to start with, so which made Jonathan, the second thing that made him their target was that Atiku and others who returned back to PDP after forming APC. Atiku believed that there was an agreement between Goodluck Ebele Jonathan and the North that was supposed to just do one term and go. And he said, no, he will do second term. So because of that, a new PDP was created. Again, because of Jonathan. Tumbu, who at the time had his own regional party called ACN, had met with Jonathan in 2011, collected $2 billion overall, true story. Then he saw a weak man, a chance that he could actually become president himself, but it won't make sense as a Southerner to challenge Ebele Jonathan. So it won't be a bad idea. I mean, it's a political thing that everybody in the country knew what was going on. So strange bedfellows decided to come together. Desperate guys whose interest was just to get power. Now, the idea of using terrorism, right, to get rid of him was muted by the likes of this El-Rufai and gang. And they set the work in motion, starting with the kidnapping of Chibok girls. Boko Haram took over almost everywhere. The threat of them probably like killing the president concept was pretty much high. And the whole country, to some extent, they were able to, remember the North was already in the back for Bokohari. The remaining work they needed was on the South, which Tumbu offered. The media, the propaganda, the lies and all that going on, the intensification, like they intensified the terrorism so much that even those who were kind of like defending Ebele Jonathan at the time, they felt like they were doing so, risking their lives, trying to talk people out of. So the whole thing was orchestrated. The Tuareg, the Boko Haram, and every other terrorist that you can find in the Sahel, they found their way down to northern Nigeria. It was massive. And to max it all, the Fulani terrorists were also told that they could be coming to Nigeria. They are fine. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan was so kind of like, I don't know, it was probably like so threatened enough that at a point he came out and he said, his election is not worth the blood of any Nigerian. Because he saw through them, he saw that they had plotted that they were going to burn down the country. It was obvious. Jonathan won't go. They were saying it. They will form a parallel government against him. Right? They will give him a Gbagbo treatment. A Gbagbo treatment. They will enter inside the Aso Rock. Yeah, people will die. Not them or other people's children will die. But they will drag him out of that place. It was so tense. Then they took power. Now, this time, it was time for them to kind of cement it. Yeah, El-Rufai once said now.
Look, if we have to pay you not to kill our people, we're happy to do it.
Is that the only solution that you're adopting to pay them to stop the killing?
That is the only solution we can see. If anyone has a better solution, you should give us. If you have somebody in Guinea that you cannot prove is responsible for this, but you say, look, we apologize, this has happened. But it didn't happen in my time. Okay, I'm the governor now, this has happened. We apologize that you are caught up in our domestic issues. Have you lost cattle? We can pay. Have you lost lives? We can pay compensation. Compensation for lives and property has foundations even in the Quran and the Bible. Look, if we have to...
So that was the El-Rufai then. The issue of killing the Shiite was to trigger a religious kind of like a war, in order to further make the country almost like ungovernable, eventually, right? So if I was Datti, I would mention names, because somebody like him probably will have better information than myself, because whatever I tell you, they're already in the public. Do you understand? It's not like somebody's, not like I probably have a hunch or something. No. They're already in the public. And that's why we have the Mayegun's Diary Political. They said, Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, he had this cabal and this, that, right? that they were telling him not to, concede at the time, but he felt like the lives of Nigerians are so important enough that their lives are kind of more important than himself being president, right? So he had to pick up the phone and call Bokohari and congratulate him, even when some of his ministers were still deliberating what to do. That singular phone call changed everything. More than 1 million Nigerians, right, have been either killed or injured permanently, while over 10 million Nigerians have been displaced. I don't want to give you the amount of money that now goes into kidnappings in Nigeria. Baba, terrorism became an industry. Nigerians no longer get mad when they hear that people are kidnapped or people are killed. They just move on. But APC taught Nigerians to get mad, enraged. How is this possible? The majority of those who bought the lies at the time, who bought the propaganda at the time, some of them are dead now. But many, many of them are no longer the same, while some have already jackpot, right? So that experience, somebody asked him recently, Ekberejo Lantan, here is what he said.
And in the Senate, and in the sub-nationals, we had more governors, almost 22 to 21 governors, and almost 473 local governments out of 774 from Nigeria. Now your question has to do with this scenario of most leaders, particularly in Nigeria, having what you call in the Nigerian parlance cabal. This cabal are defined as the inner caucus of most head of states or president in Nigeria. And there was this rumor that if the cabal had known you are going to concede to the president, there had this rumor that you would have been dropped so that you will be sleeping for 24 hours. And therefore, there is no way you concede. Secondly, we heard that there was this rumor that they make it almost impossible for you to come out and address the Nigerian nation while conceding. Mr. President, my question is, did you foresee at that material time that there are some interest groups within the presidency and outside the presidency that had that ambition, and therefore you did a first one on them and quickly concede even before the formal announcement of the official results? That is one angle. The next question has to do with the aftermath. I'm concluding. Mr. President, is there anything that still agitates your mind that you would have actually accomplished as a president? And during there, I will keep thinking about it. What specific things will you not share with the audience that you wish to accomplish by the reward? Thank you very much.
Thank you, distinguished Senator. Luckily, we are in government at the same time. You are still there, but I'm left. In terms of my concession, there are so many stories about it that were not quite right. In terms of the issue of Kappa, I don't know Nigeria, that word Kappa has now come to still in our political vocabulary. But there is nobody who will hold a very high office. Even in the private sector, I don't have some key people around it. No matter how knowledgeable you are, you need people. Sometimes give you certain statements. Sometimes you look at something different. So there's absolutely nothing wrong in the president having some key leaders that we can. Not everybody will listen to us as the president. In one way or the other, we have some friends, some poor colleagues, and so on. The problem we have is that that's why we use this name cabal and put some kind of negative connotation to it, because the advice and their suggestions is to their own benefit. If they are advising the president and prime minister on general things that will bring benefit to the public. Nobody will frown about it. Why should the president have a cabinet of ministers or cover? Or the meeting dedicated council to consider how they will run the country. But it just lands like a man. So, yes, so presidents have that. I don't really have by definition. But yes, some elders, some senior to me, have been government before me who have seen it all. From time to time, see me to make some difference. And that is normal for everybody. I remember there was a time I was talking with the first military governor of the whole River State, can get to speak. He was a governor at the age of 34. He's a military officer. I said that sometimes when he calls some of his commissioners and direct them to do certain things, tell Archibald, my son will not do it this way. Yes. So you have those kind of who are senior to you that sometimes can help. So there's nothing wrong. And there's no cabal that wants you. That day, I remember vividly that I called President General Bwala. Results were coming in. Then I witnessed the incident that happened at the National Election Center when El-Rufai was presenting me, challenged Jiga, the chairman of the National Independent Commission. And it was very bad that people said the country would go into crisis. We witnessed all that. So there are some of my aides, some ministers are there with me, some of my aides were there. And people were talking random. I was putting to be talk. I was just listening to people. Everybody speaking one selection or the other. So I remember Ngozi was there. The finance minister, actually General was also there. That fellow was there. This the minister then. Chidoka was also there, so I listened to everybody who was talking. So at a point, I left them and entered. I'm in the Senate.
And I entered and I called him, and that singular phone call is what led Nigeria to where Nigeria is today. And El-Rufai became governor of Kaduna in 8 years. In case if some of you, you have bought into any of their ongoing social media, data boys who are trying to launder their image and trying to make you feel like, to make you feel like you are just a data or something, for calling out the evil of El-Rufai, right? 1 second though. Sorry. Right. So I have a list. I don't know. I just feel like I should either, to rejigger memories, the kind of person this character is, and those who are living victims, the people of a southern Kaduna. I'll read that out. Okay. So this was compiled by Patrick Annum, a Middle Belton, a southern Kadunan, or a Kadunist. I don't know how to pronounce that. All right. But here, he said, some useless people on Twitter were sarcastically asking what terrible things El-Rufai did during his 8-year tenure. Well, I've got time. I can list them out for you now. For the record, this is coming from the account of those who are a direct victim of these people. 1. Kaduna was known as the worst place in Nigeria to be a journalist by the Nigerian Union of Journalists in 2020. So, El-Rufai went after journalists. Luka Binyat of Vanguard, Anthony Jacobson of authentic. Ahudi Maikori of Chocolate City, dragged from various states and jailed unlawfully. Now, this is someone who enjoys free press but limited press freedom when he was governor. So he's referring to El-Rufai going to media houses right now and all that, right? While at the time, I remember one guy that they had to kidnap the guy from Port Harcourt. El-Rufai said, if you criticize me on social media, I will come for you. And there were those who actually languished in jail for years. There's a guy called Adiyata. They never see him again. So he said, even after the Adara king's murder, 8 Adara elders that protested, El-Rufai arrested them unlawfully and arrested and jailed them unlawfully for 1 year. Excuse me, until the court freed them. In 2017, El-Rufai's administration created a 13-man reform committee. It went about renaming 25 chiefdoms in southern Kaduna. It slashed districts from 390 to 77. It purposely weakened the roles of traditional rulers and their roles in southern Kaduna. And in 2021, its 2021 law that he enacted demoted and regraded chiefs, all in a bid to promote Fulani hegemony in Kaduna State. Timothy Bigandu cited official documents, including a letter dated June 20, 2017, from the Secretary to the state government, as proof that the state government under El-Rufai, not the traditional institutions, originated the process of altering the chieftain system. 5. Imposition of emirates on predominantly Christian communities. Several chiefdoms in southern Kaduna, including Koolu, Kagarko, Kajuru, and Lere, were converted into emirates, a title traditionally associated with Muslim Hausa and Fulani leadership. This move was perceived as an imposition on predominantly Christian communities, altering their traditional governance structures without their consent. The murder of paramount rulers, such as Agom Adara, Dr. Raphael Maiwada Galadima, on October 2018, raised suspicions about the state's involvement in undermining indigenous leadership. His death occurred after he reportedly declined a request from the governor for grazing lands exclusively for Fulani herders. 7. Many southern Kaduna groups have accused El-Rufai of aiding and abetting what they describe as genocide in southern Kaduna, especially after he admitted to using state funds to make payment to terrorists as incentives not to carry out killings, which however escalated the killings after the admittance of such payments. 8. The Kachia Grazing Reserve, established in 1967 to settle nomadic pastoralists, was expanded from 33,400 hectares to 77,000 hectares during El-Rufai's tenure. This expansion occurred without the consent of the indigenous communities, which was expanded to include their territories, leading to concerns over land rights and the displacement of local farmers. Studies have shown that the reserve is home to approximately 10,000 Fulani pastoralists and their 40,000 cattle, with some immigrants settling in the area. It was also involved in boundary adjustment that happened from Koolu chiefdom area, local government area, to Adara chiefdom in Kachia. Sorry, I'll take that again. Adjustment that happened from Koolu chiefdom in Zango Kataf, local government area, and to Adara chiefdom in Kachia, local government area, as an effort to increase the Hausa Fulani Muslim populations in Kachia and Adara, thereby altering the demographic and political landscape of the region. 9. El-Rufai embarked on retrenchment of no fewer than 21,000 teachers, thousands more in the civil service, pointing out the most of these people that were sacked, and others forced to go on voluntary retirement are yet to be paid their retirements, almost 6 years after they were forced out. Can go on and on and on. There's so much. El-Rufai imposed 24-hour curfews in southern Kaduna, including in Jima, and Kaura local government areas. While intended to restore order, these curfews were viewed by many as punitive measures that economically crippled the region. Critics argued that the curfews disproportionately affected local businesses and daily life without effectively addressing the root causes of the violence, of which he only fueled through his divisive rhetoric and payment of terrorists with taxpayers' funds. It says, despite the persistent threat of Fulani terrorists and the displacement of residents in southern Kaduna, El-Rufai's administration was criticized for its failure to establish internally displaced persons, IDP camps. Local leaders and civil society organizations have demanded a judicial probe into these actions, accusing the administration of neglecting the welfare of displaced persons and failing to provide adequate support during times of crisis. Governor El-Rufai repeatedly refused to visit southern Kaduna. I know that one. In the aftermath of violent attacks. One clear example was in December 2022, over 46 people were killed in Kagoro, Kaura local government area. Yet the governor did not visit the affected communities or offer public condolences despite such a monumental catastrophe affecting the state. It was interpreted as a sign of indifference and neglect. However, it just showed how nonchalant it was to issues in southern Kaduna. It's quite long. I can share that with you, by the way. Some points. So El-Rufai and Goodluck Ebere Jolantan's weakness that led to the emergence of the APC, who took the economy that he handed over an economy of nearly $600 billion and they wiped that off. Today, Nigerian economy is not only down, it's pretty much like crippled. And now they have the demented Koolu that is even promoting his own nepotism, impunity, and bigotry at the national level. That those who said they sacrificed in bringing him to power are currently gnashing their teeth because they feel like he has a shortchanged them, and they will punish him. So they were pointing out the lopsidedness in his contract or in his projects, in which Lagos State alone has gotten over, 5.9 trillion naira worth of projects. That even when Koolu's handlers were trying to convince the people that no, the southwest of Nigeria did not get nearly 6 trillion. No, what happened was that excluding Lagos, remove Lagos. Now, the conversation around Lagos for years has always been that Lagos is Yoruba land due to its, its demographic location. It is Yoruba land. However, Lagos is built by all Nigeria, and they can say Lagos and the prosperity. And let me break that down. Let me break that down for you. Okay. You see that everyone is coming to Lagos. It's not because anything is so unique about Lagos. It's because politically it was set up to be like that. Lagos is not the only place where you have water or access to the sea, but for political reason, right? They chose to keep it in Lagos, and never, as much as many of them would tell you they want to expand, they were supposed to, no, because the only person that can make any other ports in Nigeria functional is your federal government. They can pretend to you that they are setting up a, land dry port, this one port on a port, can you call ports? And then they can send badges down there from Lagos. But it is all for political, this whole formation of Lagos is not because Lagos is special. It's because the owners of Nigeria made Lagos special. Nigeria money is used in building Lagos, and the prosperity that Lagos has possibly posed, currently possesses, right, is believed to also be the result of the hard work of everyone from every part of Nigeria. And rightly, it's not wrong. So Lagos is very rich, enough that Lagos alone is generating the total VAT that Lagos is generating for Nigeria by a factor that I can also explain to you, right? So the VAT being generated in Lagos alone is more than what the entire 36 states in Nigeria generates in a year. Put all of them together, right? And multiply it by 2, you will still get Lagos kind of like above a bit. And why is that? Because every company in Nigeria, operating in every part of Nigeria, somehow, they must have their own operational headquarters in Lagos. And in that case, even if their services are elsewhere, they still pay, their corporate tax and whatever other taxes to Lagos. And of course, that gives Lagos that advantage. So therefore, the government of the Nigeria also continue to budget for major infrastructures in Lagos, like their bridges, their highways, and others like that, right? But the Ronuku said that's not true. That's nonsense. It was the Lagos money that is feeding other people. So Lagos deserves to have the chunk of the money back too. In this argument, right? As some are saying Lagos is no man's land. How dare you say that? Why would you say Lagos is no man's land? Anyway, they had Daani Bwala, right, on their TV yesterday. His effort is to come and explain and tell people that, listen, it's not like that. This one is not about doing favor for Lagos. It is about how Tumbu is just trying to distribute. It was struggling. He said a lot. And his own, his explanation, should I say, his explanation was that the reason why people should not see what Tumbu is doing for Lagos, that is, they said, excluding Lagos. So is Lagos no longer part of Southwest Nigeria? They said, no, don't read another meaning to that. Lagos is a no man's land. Ulaba, how dare you? You will say that they weren't born before. You can't rub your body with petrol. Can't they spark lighter? The Ronukus feels like they were shortchanged for them being jumped to go and bring you that called Tifnubu druggy. Even if they give him 20 years, he will never do anything. But you are made the spokesperson for Tifnubu. You can't come to, But the reaction has been a little bit mixed. Bulaba trying to defend Tifnubu, he can't shoot himself for throat.
Now, the Daily Trust, of course, had done the expose over the weekend where they relayed the 2.9 trillion that had been spent on projects in Lagos State. The presidency has responded and given an outline of what they're saying the equitable share of projects. However, this explanation removed Lagos State. It looked at the rest of the country, but still negated Lagos State, whereas the question was, why is Lagos State lopsided in comparison to other regions? So why are we not hitting the nail on the head here?
Let me tell you why Lagos State is different. Lagos State is a no man's land. In the last election, the president who comes from the southwest did not win Lagos. That tells you the cosmopolitan nature of Lagos State. Secondly, the richest man in Africa is a northerner. His business is not in Kano, it's in Lagos. Almost every rich man that you know in Nigeria has business undertaking in Lagos. And the Nigerian people are represented in Lagos. You go to Lagos, if not because probably majority of the people are Yoruba speaking, you will wonder whether Lagos indeed is from the southwest. London has
but
more...
Does this now, the Daily...
You need to go and see the meltdown of the Ronukus on social media. Tinubu must sack him. He said that intentionally. How dare you go on TV and say, and say Lagos is no man's land. That, if you go to Lagos, if not because it is in Southwest, you will never even believe that Lagos is Yoruba land. Oh, Mosha. If we sack Bulaba anytime now, they could just say they don't sack him. Do you get that now? I mean, or they will be counting it. They will be counting it. So the Ronukus were triggered because it took them 2 years to become raving mad people on social media because they were scared that some people want to come and take Lagos from them. They said they will remove our Oba. They will remove our Oba. They will. The real thing, Shanique, you know, I'll give you a follow-up on that. Just let's see where that leads to. But for me, I want to sing the single. Wherever Abuga. I have missed that song. Ibuta Apuga, Ibuta Apuga. See why you. I've been learning it too. It's just a short song, one more. Oh, difficult budget. Because I just kind of like, oh more. Anyway, let's leave that. Okay. On the streets, right? It can't be like say the Ronukus themselves are trying to remind us that they have learned a lesson, but I have something to say. Whenever you see people say this to you, a former Ronuku or a repentant Ronuku, don't believe them. You know what I mean?
Maybe you don't understand. Okay. Maybe you people don't understand. I say no tribalism again. What Hausa? Yes. I don't even know that stuff. No more tribalism. I'm still saying it again. Tribalism, no more tribalism again. Yes. And that time my eyes black. Now you are open. No open. I'm still saying it again. Okay. So now, I am. Why did they talk something? Did they talk something? What do you say?
We can support the server together. 2027, Tinubu go enter again.
What? You mean say you like Tinubu?
I don't go for my first time now, but the second time we vote again. So that the suffer go plenty.
There are people like that too. Who now go fight or go, even though when you see the repentant Ronuku, nah, don't believe them. May everybody suffer for the next 6 years and see if people go get sense. People say that on the street, they do. And that is why for those how do I put this so? There are those who believe that their survival will remain on the idea of a dog eat dog. You know, and that's why we're going to go to Delta now. We're going to go to Asaba, where Theo Bright, remember him, Inspector SP Dafe Bright. He's got some guys that are making their own money from hypnotizing people. According to him, these guys will approach you on the street or on the road, and they would act like, they've missed their way and they needed direction. But before you know it, they will hypnotize you, take away your brain, and rob you. But they became unlucky, and they became a content for brides. Listen to the line of questioning first.
I am SP Dafe Bright, and this is Delta State Police Command. We are presently at Ekpan Police Station here in Urie, local government area of Delta State. We've been hearing of this syndicate that usually act in the guise of looking for direction and eventually manages to hypnotize their victims, lure them, collect their cards, collect their money, collect their phones, even their jewelries. Today, it is no longer fairy tale because today we have about 5 suspects, maybe 7 suspects who are very good at that, but the hands of the law are certainly caught up with them. What is your name? What is your name?
My name is Idukoko.
Ibukoko.
Yes, sir.
We are just sharply tell us how they do this thing.
That the business owner, for business, we must be in three in number.
What do they call those three people again?
We'll get a Kashama, we'll get a Jejeti, then we'll get a Sitama.
Okay.
Then the Kashama go answer the person, the stranger for road. Go answer saying they look for so person. Then go he can call any kind of name. Then the stranger go tell us say he don't know the person. Then the Jejeti man go they do like saying they work out the past like saying don't know anybody. Then I'll cut the Kashama will cut the stranger say make he help ask the person when they pass whether I go know the direction. Then they'll call and take. Then as they call and take, they'll call he go call ask them say wetin una dey find. Then he go call us say we dey look for so person. Say wetin make una dey find. I go call us okay we carry this diamond stone one seller to so man. He go call us okay and this man when you say you dey talk about so I know am. If our two stand for you now carry go meet the man, how much are you going to give us? If na greedy person, you go say boku dey go.
Get that part of his statement. If na greedy person, you go the person go follow una. If not be greedy person, go go on, so any person wey not dey greedy wey not follow una, una not fit do anything. Na the one wey follow una. Okay, now go straight to the end point now. At what point una dey convince these people now to do all these things when they collect their money?
Now the point of when we say we don't put the speech for their hand, when we say they don't stand to confirm say the bad is what they tell lie as they gather the corn, their body. Now that place now we take the collect.
How much you don't collect so far?
It's going to 2.5 million now.
How many people will not don't do this thing?
The amount is going to 6 to 7, sir.
Okay, no wala, thank you.
Yes, sir.
You, what will be your name?
Tega Isoko.
This one a gang. How many will be total?
Numerous members. There are some people in other states.
Una get network?
Like I don't know so many, but
how many you know?
Close to 7 of them.
7, yes. But which other state they dey like this?
I guess some Igbo speaking side and those states.
Okay, like you, how many? This guy is part of you, Abi?
Yes, sir.
Una be friends?
Yes, sir.
How long have you guys known?
Just less than 4 years.
You are from where?
I'm from Udu.
Udu, you are from where?
I'm from Ethiopia.
Ethiopia is all in Delta State, yes. Okay, no wahala. How much you don collect from people like this so far?
2.7 million.
About 2.7 million. How many victims so far?
The victim is 5.
Okay, thank you. So we have with us 3 of the victims, but for want of time, we will not be able to interview all of them. My brother, what will be your name?
Kume.
These people, how did they approach you the first day you saw them?
Yeah, and they go me my mom. So now one of them they approach me.
He ask you what?
Yeah, now I ask me say they lost, say they find the way come from Benin City. Okay. Say no around there, but you try to ask people around there, they discharge and like won't beg them money. Okay. So I call just feel pity for the guy. Now I can answer say, okay, what do they look for? Because they look for shift, come on shift me. They should I don't know such person.
Okay, so, you know, sorry, you know, say now the second time we interview you, yes, I don't want to make you talk too much. You know, say they don't already do their story, so it's clear. So now, when then they, after you don't manage enter motor with them, where do they carry you to? And at what point when you dey lose yourself, whether they didn't collect your phone and your money?
Once you don't enter motor like this, you know the feeling keep track of what they do.
So how much you lose from them?
2.5 million.
2.5 million. What of your phones?
2 phones.
How many phones?
2 phones.
The phones are worth how much?
The phones, one of them is worth 1.6, then the other one is 450,000.
And 2.5.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, thank you. We have another victim. What's your name?
So Daniel.
Daniel. Okay, you know, now see the same thing.
Yes.
Now so they do you the same thing.
Yes.
Okay, so what did they collect for your hand?
My lady's bike, brand new. My gold Koban of 5.1 million and another one of 2.8. My golden earrings, 3.4 grams of, let me say 600 and something thousand. And then my iPhone 16 Plus.
Now, what did they tell you when you lose yourself, when you begin give them all these things?
This very guy named Tega, he was, like he knew me when tax force was harassing me at the roadside. So as he was driving by, he stopped.
No, no worry. We know their modus operandi, not the entire story I want. At what point you begin give them these things? Now, what I just want you to do?
They told me to drive them to where they will see the buyer of what they will see in the app. Goldstone, Abitola Stone, all this stuff.
Okay.
So I told them that okay, this guy that is having it, he shouldn't claim my bike because I don't know what he's having. Maybe if police go for it, I can't claim it. So if you claim another bike, you should use Okada. So I'll carry this other one that isn't having it. We drove. When we met this brown motor, so he now told me to stop. This the guy.
What did they do you? Did they touch you or did they tell you anything will make you begin give them those things?
The one that was having this brown motor, he touched me. That's where he sees my movement.
That is what I want. Okay, when he touched you, you lost control.
Lost control.
So as at the time you were giving them those things, you don't know. Now after you don't give them finish, now your eye open.
I discovered myself playing in a main road like.
How did they get the? Where was the lady bike when they see you? Were you on the lady bike?
I was on the lady's bike, but I don't even know I came down, entered the motor.
So they come back, carry the lady's bike.
Yes, they drive me go far, we drop far.
So how many of them here you recognize?
All of them.
All of them.
Yeah.
Okay, madam, you two, how many of them you recognize?
2.
You recognize 2 of them. What did they carry from your hand?
Ladies' bike and phone.
How many phones?
1 phone.
How much is the phone?
30,000.
30,000. And your lady bike? You will call?
Ladies' bike.
Ladies' bike. Now they carry from you.
Yes,
They carry your phone too.
No, only ladies' bike.
Okay, we have so many suspects that I can't even know where to start from if we were to interview all of them. Rather, so many victims and about 7 suspects. So we all should be careful because there are these people out there trying to do all these things. You don't have to follow them anywhere. Don't allow them touch you. If somebody asks you for direction, I'm not saying don't be a nice and concerned Nigeria. Give them direction and let them go. Don't let them come to you. Don't let them touch you. On no account should you enter.
Thank you, Jerry. As much as the trick is as old as time, still works. And let me tell you something, right? All these cheap tricks, right? They work very well in poor societies. It is just what it is. You know, when you have this Ponzi scheme and every other scheme like that, where they can tap into your vulnerability, enter you, when you are unable to really do it, when you are unable to process it later, like the next thing you're going to believe is that they just you. Or you forgot that you are interested. Somebody was asking about direction, or somehow, they said something that seemed like an opportunity. I was with my friend today, and we're having a chat. We're having a chat about faith and belief system, all right? And I kind of tried to describe to him that part of the things they use on Nigerians, or on people generally, those who believe in this superstitious thing, I used to myself too. But not that I really believed, but it was something that I am very much aware of, right? So the superstitious part is because they need to somehow get you to consent. For example, when somebody says, Omo, I have this very powerful pastor. He's a very powerful man of God. Honestly speaking, he has been doing prayers for me. I mean, so many of you can relate. There's something I want to tell you about it. Like, I'm not saying all of them are job men, no, even though you all know that most of them are. Okay. So then they will say, okay, yeah, go and see him, or go and see her. So when you get there, first, aesthetic matters. You get that now? Appearances matters. When you walk in and you see all these, all these souvenirs and all that in place to let you know that you are actually in the presence of a spiritualist. So I was telling my friend, I said, when you walk in and they will ask you to give them show me your hand, right? And then they look at you. Do you have faith? Oh, no, let me do it the way I did it so that it will look serious. So you walk in. Good morning, sir. Yes, yeah. Oh, yeah, come in. Yes. No, I'm coming from my friend. my friend, AK, he was the one who said I should come and see you. Yes, and Mayegun. Oh, okay, Mayegun. Sit down. My son, sit down. Thank you, sir. Right. So what do you want me to do for you? Yes, sir. It's just everything, I'm a graduate, right? So things are not going on well for me. Yeah. I used to have business. My business used to be like, very like 5 million naira. But today, my business is almost dead. Yeah. I tried to find work, to find job. I couldn't find job. And honestly speaking, I'm already losing hope. But my friend said, if I come to you, you can pray for me, you can help me. Now use your hand to touch the ground 3 times and touch your heart. Your chest. Okay, sir. Yes, sir. Give me your hand. And then you give him your hand. He looks at you and he's like, where's your mother? No, my mom is dead. Abiamo, a very good mother. Where's your father? My father is dead. You are an orphan. It's okay. Do you have faith? Do you believe? Say, yes, sir. I believe, sir. I believe very much, sir. Are you sure that you have believed that you believe that your problem will be solved inside this place that you are now? I believe, sir. I do strongly believe, sir. Please, sir. Please. I can see that you have suffered, though. Yes, sir. If I start telling you, yes, sir. Honestly, you get it. You used to have money. What I'm looking at here is like, is either you have so much money that you had a car, or you have money that you just didn't buy a car. Yes, sir, I didn't even buy a car. Yes, sir. I had enough money to buy a car. But because I love my business, I'm a very hardworking person, sir. I'm not somebody who is wasting money or anything. I don't like doing this anymore. Yes, sir, please, you have to help me. You have to help me. No, I will help you. Immediately you walk in. Do you know that you didn't walk in alone? 2 people followed you inside here. Now you can't see them. It's okay. That's why I was asking about your mother. I wanted to know if it was a spirit that just come or just say, yeah, it's a very bad man. She didn't even live long to. So if they now ask you to, the correct one won't even ask you for money. They'll just say, so what are you doing now? Say, yes, sir. There's this my brother. He lives in the US. So he's now asking me, what do I want to do? And I'm like, I don't know what to ask him. Because I think maybe he can help me and all that. I said, okay, maybe if I come to you, I say, okay, yeah. You know what? I want you to go and buy sugar cane, buy sugar, buy honey, buy salt, and use them as go and gift them to people. And you see what will happen. Now, here is the catch. The catch is that you are the client. So if you go and your brother, who already had the intention of helping you anyway, decided to say, you know what, I'll give you 10 million for that your business. Do you know that the first person you are going to go and tell is the person who did nothing? But the fact that you are vulnerable. So automatically you will think, Omo, my brother will not talk to me for the past 15 years. He no give me shishi like this. 15 years he's been in America. From nowhere, from the blues. He just sent me money to go and continue my business. Right now, he's sending me a car. You know, say your brother, they also for the past 15 years. Until he's sorted enough to help you. That's when he's coming back to help. But no, that's somebody else. It's that man. Because, come on. How come my brother didn't help me all this while? Why is it now after I met him? Then if you go and nothing happened, because that's the major. Now that one plenty, where nothing they happen. From problem to problem, from shege to shege. You know what they say? They say it's because the reason why the prayer is not working is because you don't have faith. They can even say it's because you go chop salt. Now, because say you go drink beer. If you didn't drink beer, the prayer will work. Assuming that you didn't look at your wife when she's coming out of the bathroom. Assuming that you look away, you didn't see her when she came out of the bathroom, the jazz will work. Now, that is what will let you know that you are just a client. Your vulnerability can be exploited. There are people who are smart enough to notice your vulnerability and they will exploit it. And I swear to God, you will think they just you. And that's why you see some people so distracted enough that they will go out to go and buy a gadget. Somebody bought a phone from Lagos to Koolu. He bought phone with 15,000 being condemned back then, Motorola, and he came down to Koolu, only to realize that now who they give him. How is that possible? My friend bought wristwatch, right? And he checked it and everything, he paid. They gave him an envelope, now stone day inside. He didn't open it until he got to Koolu. So to him, now jazz, they used jazz to, no, they didn't. You are just, it's so easy to know. You get what I mean now? If I'm buying something from you enough, I mean, in that kind of, trustless society, you double check. You can't get scammed that way if you are not greedy yourself. And in your greed, you are vulnerable. Do you get that now? So I'm not saying that there are those who are not, it's not jazz, it's not voodoo, it's not nothing. It's just that so much on your minds that you can easily fall prey for these guys. Yeah. But that is one. For the bigger thieves, they don't target people for their phones, their ladies' bikes. They actually steal the resources, the commonwealth of the country, in the most brazen way you can ever imagine. Like this one, this guy. Listen to this one.
There's one of Obasanjo's best friends that Obasanjo tried to support him or give him something, but the man kept rejecting. So he asked Marlon to go and look for a land within the villa. Maybe if the man hears Bila and Obasanjo is there as a president, he will take the land. Eventually he got more than one plot of land. And man Nasir called me and said, Uba, can you submit application tomorrow? I said, man, I've just built my house in Metama. He said, but you have built it already. Can you bring, the next day I brought my application. That's how I got a land inside the villa again. That's the problem. And I went to him and said, someone want to buy this land, 300 million this afternoon. I have to sell it. He said, no, try and develop it. Of course. He still helped me again to raise money to build 2 blocks of duplexes in the villa as we are speaking. Only last month, someone tried to buy those property for 1.8 billion. I said, no, I'm not saying. So I can go on and on and on. So gentlemen, I think my advice to all of us is that when we were in FCT with Malam, I remember when he was leaving, 2007, he gathered all of us, just like...
They gifted him land that he didn't need. Somebody offered to buy the land later for 300 million. El-Rufai told him not to sell it. He helped him to raise money. From where? From the stock market. They looted money. He built himself 2 duplexes in the villa, choice properties, choice area, that now worth 1.8 billion. Maybe it's not 1.8 billion because they usually project in advance how much money they are going to loot. The future looting, they will project it in a way. Those ones know they know they rob people off their phones, so they know they use voodoo or anything, no. Right? They are the pen robbers, the criminals in the Babariga. Now, love can go very, very bad. Love is a beautiful thing. At the same time, when love breaks down, it can be bloody. A young woman, again, we're going to go back to SP Bright, Theo Bright. So one younger woman, when she was very young, probably in her teens, met an older guy, right? And she, she gave birth to 2 children, their children, right? And something happened. They had an argument, and she stabbed him. So the case is now about, like, is it this self-defense or murder? A teenager who had been calmed by an adult, put in a family way, could be suffering from the trauma that she's been exposed to at a very young age. Why would she kill him? What happened? Bright Edafe. Come on.
I am SP Edafe Bright. This is Delta State Police Command. Today, we've always had cases of domestic violence, but what we are doing today is quite different because it's now happening the other way around. I'm with a young lady who, she says she's just about 21 years old. She has a baby daddy, let me use that word. She has 2 children for the man, though they are not married, but they were cohabiting. And somewhere along the line, they had disagreement that resulted in a fight, and this was used. She used this to stab the man at his heart, the heart, and the man bled to death. Where the man for the hospital before us? How long did he stay in the hospital before he died?
They refused to attend to him.
Who refused to attend to him?
The hospital went.
Why? Why did they refuse to attend to him?
They didn't say anything. They only say he lost blood. Like the first one went to, they said the doctor is not around.
So you are blaming? Wait, are you trying to blame the hospital now? Calm down, calm down. You were so fast to say they refused to attend to him. Between the hospital and you, that is the mother of the man's children, who should pay more attention to the man's well-being?
It's me.
Okay, so let's leave it at that first. We'll be hearing from her. You can see I'm a bit sad because it's indeed a pathetic story. It's not one. The scene is so gory when you see the picture. It's embarrassing. What's your name, madam?
Bina.
Bina, where do you stay?
Jakparo.
Jakparo. Try and be audible. How old are you?
I'm 21.
21. Where are you from?
I'm from Bayelsa.
Bayelsa. And you are 21-year-old. What's your educational qualification? SS2. Okay, you've not finished secondary school. Did you stop school or you are still in school? You stop. Okay, how long have you known this the father of your children? You've known him for 3 years. 4. This month will make it 4 years. How many children do you have for him?
2 boys.
How old are the 2 boys?
The first one is 3. The second one is 1.
Okay, what led to this? I know you have a lot of story, but we don't have that time, okay? What led to this? When I mean what led to this, you said you guys were having a disagreement and he told you he was no longer interested in the relationship, that you should go. Was that the case?
Well, that was it, but it was not all of it, but that was the case.
Okay, did you leave the house at all?
I left the house on Sunday.
I came back when?
I came back that same Sunday.
Okay.
Around 9.
So exactly what led to this fight?
On Monday, that was what.
Just go straight to the point. What led
on
to
Monday,
the fight?
like I don't know what it triggered him to me, but on Monday I didn't do anything. We're both not talking to each other. So he was upset that I went to go and meet our neighbor for the meter, because I told him that I can't go and meet our neighbor for the meter. That was because he wasn't responding to me. I asked him several times, he didn't respond to me. So I had no choice than to go and meet our neighbor for the meter so that he can help me load card, so that we'll have like.
Was his anger because you went to the neighbor for the meter? Was that his anger?
I don't even know what brought his anger.
So what led to you taking this to start?
Well, he was upset with me. He told me that I thought I said I can't go and meet our neighbor for anything. I said because you are not responding to me. Then he seized the store key. The store he opened for me, he seized the key. He said he's going to lock down the store.
Now we've known that story. Now, what led to you using this to stab
Well,
him?
he was
That
beating me.
he was beating you.
Yes.
What was he using to beat you?
He used his hand with the key in his hand and the airbrush. He wanted to use the key because the key was in his right hand. As he used it, I used this my hand to hold it so that it won't touch my eye because this eye got blind once.
Okay. So where did you now find this? At what point did you find this?
After he mashed my head on the floor, when I was bleeding from my nose, that was when I went to the kitchen to take the dagger.
Where was he? Where was he when you got this dagger?
It was like,
was it in the kitchen or was it in the sitting room?
It wasn't in the kitchen. It was in the, like, let me say the dining side.
It was in the dining
side.
So you left where you were fighting with him. You went to the kitchen. You carried this. I went to the shop.
Where he mashed me, where he mashed me, I was close to the kitchen. So that was when I entered inside the kitchen.
Calm down, calm down. When he was matching you, you didn't stretch your hand and carry the dagger.
No,
okay?
I did not stretch.
You stood up.
I stood up.
You went to the kitchen.
Yes.
You carried the dagger.
Yes.
You came back to meet him at the dining.
I did not meet him. Like I was standing in between the kitchen and the dining. That was where I was standing.
So where was he standing?
He was coming directly at me.
Okay, at where? Into you in the kitchen or in the dining?
Where I was standing, that was where he was coming directly. So I told him that he should stay away.
Okay, well, it's unfortunate. Nobody is happy that this has happened. But why we have brought this out is this. I'm asking you that key question because the time you used to get to the kitchen, you should have used it to get out of the house and just go avoid trouble. You lock the door. Well, it is well, but the truth is that now he's dead. How do you feel now?
I'm happy.
Where are your children now?
They're with his people.
Well, it's a very sad story. The only reason why we are bringing this out is because of what we call temper. Not just in our case, even in men's case. We should mind our temper because for every fight, we don't know the end point. Now, this man is dead. The two children are there. 2 children, right? How old are the children? 3 and 1. The children are there. She is here going in for a case of suspected murder. It is well, may his soul rest in peace. And
right. That's Nigeria police, right? And the reason why I love sharing Bright's video with you is because if I try to dramatize what it is like when police are investigating crimes in Nigeria, and you would automatically know that you are guilty even before you see the judge. So I think they advised him not to be putting the face of this suspect on the screen because legally he shouldn't be doing what he is doing. But somehow it is Nigeria. There's a place, there's a time, there was a time they had what they call the crime fighters. You remember that time when, in the 90s, crime fighters, we're going to see every, arrested criminals. They will be interviewed on TV every Friday, I can't remember, So, but there is more. There could be a piled up trauma. She's been domestically abused for so long enough, right? That she believed that she could defend herself by picking up that knife. That changed everything though, right? But if she has a good lawyer, she may get what is called the manslaughter, something that doesn't really carry the maximum sentence or what have you. But yeah, the man is dead. And in Nigeria, they say, don't talk bad about the dead. So I'm going to leave it like that. But any lesson learned there means any form of disagreement, anger. Listen, once it becomes physical, somebody should walk away. That's the best thing. Trust me, you have no idea what you'll be probably preventing. The height of all the prevention will be the regret that you are going to be playing back all the, second by second, you'll be playing back everything, every step that led to that particular one in the moment of anger. on that note, we're going to call it a night. I will see you tomorrow, promise, probably during the lunch or brunch time. Or listen, everybody who made it down tonight, remember, like the broadcast. You liking it actually boosts the video itself, right? So thanks so much for your time. Enjoy the rest of the evening. I'll see you later.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Mayegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Lórí Facebook lórí YouTube. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Mayegun máa wí. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Mayegun dayari politico. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun dayari Nayibi #1. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Bíjó ìgbádìyẹ. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Kí gómìnà gbówó jẹ. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Ọlọ́pàá ti ń darí bá. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú. Mayegun máa wí. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn rákì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o. Mayegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀. Mayegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀. Oníkanṣá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o. Àyè Máyégún ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Máyégún ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní má ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o, ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣà ìtú wọn síta.
Máyégún ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Máyégún ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Tẹnitẹni ọmọ Máyégún ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ó fọlọ́hún ṣọ́ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù. Lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù. Bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sè mọ́bẹ̀. Èèpo ọ̀bọ̀ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́, ó ti jọba lórí abínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ fòyà. Àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o, ó kó ẹni tó bá dán o àkàmù. Máyégún ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì. Máyégún ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì o. Ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Máyégún ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.